The first time I visited Stonehenge was during my first trip to England in 2010, but I could only see it from a distance. My next visit was in 2018, during the summer solstice, the only day of the year when visitors are allowed to touch the stones. Beyond Stonehenge, my 2018 trip around Wiltshire included visiting crop circles, Amesbury, Salisbury Hill, and the West Kennet Long Barrow. While I will discuss crop circles and other stone circles in Wiltshire in future videos, this video will focus specifically on Stonehenge. Wiltshire, where Stonehenge is located, is home to one of Europe's densest collections of prehistoric monuments, and many believe that ancient builders were highly attuned to the Earth's magnetic forces, deliberately selecting this location for its powerful geomagical properties. Though now a shadow of its original grandeur, Stonehenge remains the most iconic of Britain's 1,300 stone circles. The Saxons called it Stonehenge, meaning hanging stones, while medieval writers referred to it as the Giant's Dance. It is arguably the most famous prehistoric stone circle in the world, attracting more than 800,000 visitors each year. My mother, who had also visited Stonehenge, once remarked that it was just a pile of rocks. So, what makes Stonehenge so special? Besides being the heart chakra of the planet, together with Glastonbury and Shaftesbury, the site lies at the convergence of 14 major ley lines, forming a powerful energetic hub. One of Wiltshire's most significant ley lines runs through Stonehenge, Old Sarum, Salisbury Cathedral, and Clearbury Ring. Interestingly, the crop circle phenomenon, which emerges in Wiltshire every summer, also seems to be centered around Stonehenge. In terms of design, Stonehenge spans 6,500 acres, 2,630 hectares, and consists of 3 rings. In the outermost section stands a 94-foot wide circle of posts and lintels known as the Sarsen Circle. Of these, 16 uprights and 5 lintels remain standing today. Moving inward, one encounters the main ring of sandstone monoliths, each standing 13 feet 4 meters high and 7 feet 2.1 meters wide. These massive stones were arranged in 5 pairs, each topped by a horizontal lintel, with individual stones weighing up to 50 tons. Enclosed within this ring is a circle of bluestones, some reaching 16 feet 5 meters in height. These bluestones also surround additional structures, including the Great Altar Stone and hundreds of burial mounds. The exact methods of construction and the identity of the builders remain a mystery. Archaeological evidence suggests that Stonehenge's history predates the stones themselves. Long before the monument took its current form, the site appears to have been used as a burial ground. A wooden version of the henge may have existed as early as 8,500 years ago, and at one time, the complex might have been 15 times its present size. Radiocarbon dating of soil and bone tools indicates that Stonehenge was built between 3000 and 2000 BC in 3 distinct stages. However, as with many megalithic sites, alternative researchers argue that Stonehenge's construction dates back much further than mainstream archaeology acknowledges. During Stage 2, bluestones, non-native to the area, were somehow transported from as far away as Wales, approximately 240 miles, 386 kilometers, distant, with some weighing up to 25 tons. Stonehenge is the only Neolithic monument in the British Isles constructed with boulders transported from such distant locations. Regardless of its original spiritual purpose, Stonehenge stands as a testament to extraordinary feats of transportation, engineering, and construction. In mythology, the construction of Stonehenge is linked to the legendary magician Merlin. According to Geoffrey of Monmouth's Historia Regum Britanniae, when King Aurelius Ambrosius sought a suitable burial site for Britain's fallen princes, Merlin advised him to gather an army and retrieve magical stones from Mount Calaris in Ireland. When the soldiers failed to move the stones using ladders, ropes, and various machines, Merlin employed his own methods to remove them successfully. The stones were then transported back to England and reassembled to form Stonehenge. Another theory suggests that Stonehenge was a Roman temple dedicated to Salus, Uranus. Additionally, the Greek writer Diodorus Siculus, 1st century BC, may have referenced Stonehenge in his Bibliotheca Historica. Diodorus describes a land beyond the Celts, where an island, no smaller than Sicily, lies in the northern sea. This island, called Hyperborea, is named for its location beyond the origin of the north wind, Boreas. The inhabitants primarily worship Apollo and possess the magnificent sacred precinct of Apollo and a notable temple, adorned with many votive offerings and spherical in shape. Amongst other attributes, Apollo was recognized as the god of medicine and healing. Some scholars speculate that Hyperborea could represent Great Britain and that the spherical temple may be an early reference to Stonehenge. The true function of Stonehenge remains a mystery. There is widespread agreement that the site was designed to mark and predict celestial events. Its alignment with the winter solstice sunset and the summer solstice sunrise has made it a focal point for modern celebrations of Yule and Litha. The heel stone, also known as the sun stone, stands at the northeast section of the outer circle, leaning toward the inner sanctum. On the summer solstice, an observer standing within the circle would see the sun rise directly above this stone. The sun was revered as the father of life, while the stone circle symbolized his earthly wife. The cup-shaped trilithon horseshoe represented her womb, and during the summer solstice, the heel stone cast a phallic shadow that extended into this formation, with the shadow falling upon the altar stone. In winter, stone 16, its rounded form resembling a pregnant figure, stood gazing southwest, symbolizing a mother heavy with child, bidding farewell to her celestial partner. This maternal figure, embodying the endless cycle of life, would bring forth new life at the vernal equinox, 9 months after the father's summer solstice visit. Through these intricate alignments and symbolic forms, Stonehenge encapsulated a profound Neolithic vision of the cosmos and humanity's place within it, embodying themes of life, death, and renewal. The inner circle contains 19 bluestones, which may correspond to the 18.6-year cycle of the moon's extreme rising and setting points. In the outer Sarsen circle, there are 29.5 monoliths, aligning with the 29.53-day lunar cycle between full moons. Additionally, the outer circle contains 56 Aubrey holes, which correspond to the 56-year cycle of the rising full moon nearest the winter solstice over the heel stone, potentially allowing for eclipse prediction. The 5 archways may also symbolize the 5 visible planets: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Furthermore, Stonehenge may have been designed as a working model of the sun's movements within a geocentric, Earth-centered, universe. The large sarsen stones could represent Earth, while the surrounding banks and Aubrey holes might symbolize the heavens. Key stones, such as the station stones, heel stone, and slaughter stone, may have marked solar positions in the Earth's polar axis. Since ancient builders lacked modern tools like magnets, they likely relied on astronomical observations to determine cardinal directions. By aligning a tall tree pole with the pole star, Thuban, and using a plumb bob, they could have precisely marked true north. A midday shadow cast by the pole would have confirmed the alignment. A specific stone pair, stones 53 and 54, features a socket that may have once held a tree pole aimed at the pole star. Another pole, possibly with a suspended ball at the end, could have rotated around it. If reflective surfaces, such as polished tin mirrors, were used, they might have directed sunlight onto the ball, creating an illuminated sphere that mimicked the sun's seasonal movement. This would have allowed observers in the avenue to witness a visual representation of the sun's path in a geocentric system. The placement of the bluestone circle further supports this theory. Some of the stones may have been positioned to help adjust the mirrors and maintain the display. This suggests that Stonehenge was more than just a ceremonial site. It could have been a carefully engineered model demonstrating how the sun and celestial bodies appeared to move around the earth. Another possible function is healing. Archaeologists have discovered skeletons with evidence of injuries and illnesses from distant regions, suggesting that people traveled vast distances to seek the stone's reputed healing powers. The bluestones originate from Mainclachog, a Welsh location whose name means ringing rock, a fitting title, as these stones emit a distinctive, bell-like chime when struck. Such lithophones were often associated with healing properties, and their immense size would have only amplified their mystical power. They were even used to create protective talismans. Another related function could be that Stonehenge served as a sacred site for preparing the dead for the afterlife. Geoffrey of Monmouth, a 12th-century British cleric and historian, speculated that a pilgrimage to Stonehenge was part of a ritual passage from life to death, a way to commune with ancestors and honor those who had recently passed. There is also a strange account that may suggest Stonehenge's function as a portal, particularly since some have speculated that the trilithons represented doorways to another world. In August 1971, a group of people camped inside the monument. Around 2 a.m., a sudden storm arrived, with lightning streaking across the sky. Witnesses saw a bolt of lightning strike the stones, causing them to glow with an eerie blue light. They heard the terrified screams of the campers, but when they rushed to help, they were stunned to find that the campers had vanished without a trace. If you have other theories or interesting experiences at Stonehenge, I'd love to hear from you in the comments.